because what I have to say to you today is incredibly important to me. I'm Lori Roth, and I'm a LinkedIn diva. And my life is not about LinkedIn. And I'm not going to talk to you today about it, except for that. Because that's not what's important. The tools that you use to reach your success, the people that you follow, the desires that you have, the relationships that you have, are the way that you mark your life. I walked with my dad the day before he died. And I will never, ever forget what that felt like. Because the next morning, my sister called and said, something's wrong. Go now. Life stopped. And nothing was important except being there for my mom. And I called my partner and I said, Mike, I need you to turn everything off for me. Do you know how hard it is to turn everything off when you are so deeply vested and automated in sharing? He missed one place, so he posted a blog post on Tuesday that said that Facebook had reached 1 billion users. And he was watching my stream, he was like, oh my God, what did I miss? How do I turn that one off? And he had the sense to go in and figure out how to delete it. You know, when I was nominated to give a TED Talk, I told a friend and I said, you know, that's really, I remember the day that I first saw my very first TED Talk and I thought, I want to do that someday. And I was talking to Bob and I said, what if I had said that then, knowing what it was going to take to actually do it? So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the journey. A TED Talk to me is the performance of your life for which you can't perform. You just have to keep it real. It's got to be authentic. It's got to be an idea that changes the world, or it's just not going to be a TED Talk. You have to, I asked all my friends, trust me, I asked everybody, what do I do? What do I do? I asked the people who nominated me, what's most important? And they said, take emotional risks, which I didn't mean to just do, it just kind of overwhelmed me. But laughter is good. Reveal curiosity and passion, tell a story, share a dream. Dream a great dream, because something new that has never been dreamed before, or something that somebody has dreamed but has not had the courage to do themselves. And when I was reading this morning, and I realized that right from the very beginning of this weekend, on Thursday morning, with Joel and Ken standing in front of the group that was here for the intensive, that has been the theme of this weekend. Everybody is telling me the exact same thing. So if you can't think of one, it's okay. Let life happen. Just be. Be there for your family. Be there for your friends. Be there for the people you love and care about. And you're going to have an aha moment that's going to say, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. Just like Jack described. So why is it, though, that we tend to compare the highlights of everyone else's life with ours? I mean, trust me, I know the outtakes. Some of my friends have seen my outtakes. I know the backstory. I know the setting of the camera. And yet I look at somebody else's life and I think, wow, if I could only do that, wouldn't it be fun if I could do that? Wouldn't it be great if I could be that person? Without understanding what they go through when no one else is watching. I've had people walk up to me and say, Lori, I want to be just like you. And I say, trust me, you don't. I'm different. And I'm not sure why I'm different, but I know that I am. And I know that sometimes that's endearing to people, and sometimes it just flat pisses them off. But what do others see in you? What are the highlights that people see in your life? The best way to figure that out is to ask the people who love you. Take what they say with a grain of salt, and then go ask your other friends, the people who kind of know you. If you had to describe me in 1 or 2 sentences, what would you say? And don't just ask people that once and believe it to be true forever, because we change. So ask that on a regular basis. I'm not perfect, and I have stood up and said so, even as early as yesterday. But in my imperfections, and embracing my humanity, and understanding that the real power of each one of us is the fact that we're human, come hell or high water, because of our perfections, we can communicate and converse with each other on a level that other people can't. Dogs don't get it. They don't understand what a holiday is. You let them on the couch on Christmas Day, they're on the couch forever. It was allowed once. Why are you telling me to get down now? But with people, you can communicate on an intellectual level, a very intimate level. I have friends who are incredibly near and dear to my heart that I love, that I have never had sex with, and frankly don't want to. But the intimacy that I feel when I'm with them, and the sharing, the depth of our relationship, because in front of them, it's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to be real. It's in striving for our own greatness and facing the challenges that we know are there, that we prove our strengths. God gave us ability. We take our abilities and we turn them into talents and skills that we practice. And I'm not talking about bookkeeping, although if there are any good bookkeepers out there, I'm dyslexic, and so bookkeeping for me is a very painful experience. But what I'm talking about is how we hone our best talents. You don't have a weightlifter on the Olympic circuit that is not bench pressing more than he thinks he's going to have to do every single day. You don't get courage and character and the ability to inspire people by sitting on the couch eating bonbons wishing you can. You get up and you take a stand for what you believe in, and you speak to what you're passionate about. Some people might call it fake it till you make it, but you treat your gifts as talents. And those are the things that you share with the people in your life who are hurting, the people in your life who are celebrating, the people in your life who just need somebody to talk to that they know can be discreet. If you have a hard time receiving a blessing, we talked about this yesterday at lunch, but if you have a hard time receiving a blessing, you are robbing somebody from the gift that they want to give you and from the joy that they could experience if you just said yes. So if you have a hard time accepting a gift, humble yourself. Accept it. And give that person a hug. How many of y'all know I love hugs? How many of you, why are you not raising your hands? Right, hugs are free. They are often reciprocated. The best ones are reciprocated. And they can last as long as you want them to.
And knock you off the stage.
And knock you off the stage. Exactly. Right? And so in giving somebody a hug, physically breaking that barrier of physical space that we have, that will help you become a better receiver. And when you're a better receiver, you in turn then can become a better giver. So live in a state of mutual love and respect. Find mentors. But find a way to bring your mentor value. In bringing your mentor value, you will understand how to help the best of the best. When you can help the best of the best become better, what have you accomplished for yourself? It's completely selfish. People think I do it because it is. It's completely selfish. I want to be that person. I want to achieve my dreams. I want to be the best Lori Ruff that I could possibly be. And in order to do that, I need to find mentors who are better than me at what they do. And I need to provide them so much value that they'll want to help me come along. They'll feel compelled to return the favor. Because after all, what I ask is small compared to what I've given. And what's really, really super cool is when I was growing up, I was not normal. There's an insight. My dad asked me what I wanted to be when I grew up, and I said, Daddy, I want to change the world. He said, well, how are you going to do it? I said, I have no idea, but I'm sure God will figure it out for me. I was so excited, and the grin that broke across his face was one of those, oh my God, here she goes again. Can you imagine having to beg my parent? It was painful. Recognize the service of others. Tip generously, even when you can't afford it. If you have very little money in your pocket and you go out for a cup of coffee, you better have enough for a tip. And if the tip is more than the coffee, you're going to make progress toward whatever goal you're trying to reach, toward whatever person you're trying to become. I remember when coffee was 79 cents and I'd have $2 in my pocket and it just laid on it. I was a single mom for a while, so that was always fun. So what do you guys see in me? What do you see as my strengths? Would you say I have a confidence of spirit? That I'm patient? That I have tenacity or humility? Because honestly, those are the things that are important to me. The power of honesty and insight. All hills look tall when you're standing at the bottom. But when you find somebody who's reached the top, ask them for their insights. Because they can see it. Isn't it amazing how from the mountaintop, everything else looks tiny? So open yourself to the power of helping other people. Go find failure. We talked about that this weekend too. It's amazing how much we talked about this weekend, and I thought, I've already written that down. Go find failure fast and furious. Because it's in those failures that you're going to figure out what works. And you know what? Sometimes something is painful, and we see it as a failure, when in reality, that's where our greatest strength lies. And that's the very next step we needed to take to get through that barrier on the other side. How many people in this room have known me for more than 2 years? Look around the room. How many of you knew me before rheumatoid arthritis took my life away? Did it really? I would not. I've had so many people who have said, Lori, I wish I could carry that load for you. I wish I could take that pain for you. And I said, no, you really don't. I could not wish this on you. I've thought about the one person in the world. I had to think hard, but I thought about the one person in the world that I really dislike the most. There is one person, I can't tell you who it is. And I thought, I would not wish this on him. It's in those struggles, though. You know, it started with my knee swelling up. It didn't hurt, just swelled up. I thought, well, that's odd, but I've had injuries in that knee before. And I convinced myself through each one of the injuries that occurred over the next 6 months that there was a reason for it. I was a klutz. From between 4th grade and 5th grade, I grew 5 inches. That was easy to remember. So I've always been a little bit of a, you'll see me drop things now and it's just like, okay, it's just going to happen. But it started in July of 2010. By the end of August, I was in a wheelchair. And 2 weeks later, I was booked to speak at the Health Information Officers Conference in Oklahoma City. And I had to decide, was I going to go or not? And I called them and I said, I've had some injuries and I'm in a wheelchair. Can you accommodate me on your stage? And they said yes. I said, may I bring a companion, a caregiver? And they said yes. And for the first time in my life, I asked for something I needed in order to do the job for them that I wanted to do. And they said yes so easily, I was speechless. And we got on a plane and we went to Oklahoma City. I got on the stage, and people in the room afterwards approached me and said, "You made me feel so much more comfortable about how to allow our employees to use social media, or how to come up with a policy, or how to," so many people, there were 300 people in the room that day, and more than 20 came back to the back of the room to thank me for being there. But what if I had said, "I've been injured and I can't come"? My life would be over right now. The thing I love to do, the thing I am inspired and wake up in the morning for, the thing that the only reason I don't do it is when I get up in the morning and I can't move. And a few hours later, I'm at it again. Would be gone. Because it only takes one no to have that excuse to let your body relax. As opposed to the athlete that continues to strive. It doesn't give up, no matter what. There's a video, 1.5 million views, about a girl in Minnesota who was running for her life. It was a 3-lap race. She fell face first, just as they were about to start the last lap. And she got up and she ran that last lap faster than she ran the first. And she won the race. Because it's not about how hard you try. It's about doing what God put you on earth to do. There is a great philosopher that we all know and love who said you can close your eyes to the things you don't want to see, but you can't close your heart to the things you don't want to feel. Johnny Depp is my hero. Everybody close your eyes for a moment. The thing that I would wish for you as you leave this weekend, and as you continue to follow your passion and to reach for your dreams no matter what it takes, is that you will feel. Because it's the feeling in our heart that brings us joy. It's the feeling in our heart whereby we mark the milestones of our life. It is how people feel when they are with us or they think of us that makes all the difference in the world. All else aside, make people feel. And you will have what you need to achieve any dream that you want to achieve.